book haul. I thought I watched enough of these videos to know how to do this, but apparently I haven't. All right, let's open this first package. There's instructions on this, you know, but, oh, okay, I think I'm doing it right. It's like, okay. Yes, precisely what I thought it was gonna be. You know what? The casing is a little damaged. I wonder why. I should return it. No. What? Guess what it is? John Green's 5-book collection featuring Looking for Alaska, An Abundance of Katherines, Paper Towns, The Fault in Our Stars, and Turtles All the Way Down. If you've seen my Paper Towns, actually, I don't even know if I'm uploading that. Now, I have heard that John Green's writing is, you know, his stories, his books, they're like all the same. But I read Paper Towns, and I want to read The Fault in Our Stars in May. So I thought maybe let me just get the box set. I like his writing, and so I was also curious about Looking for Alaska. Originally, obviously, I thought it was going to be an adventure, but after reading a little bit about it, it turns out that it is not an adventure. Well, he's not looking for the state of Alaska. He's looking for a girl named Alaska, which I was really bummed out. But you know what? I'm still excited to read his work because I am a fan of the Green Brothers, and so this kind of feels like a full circle thing. Like, I watched Crash Course, and SciShow, so I think that you know, I don't mind supporting him. If you're not familiar with these, I'll go ahead and read the synopses. Okay. Oh, this one's short. 221 pages. Okay. All right. Looking for Alaska. First drink, first prank, first friend, first love. Last words. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Miles Halter is fascinated by famous last words and tired of his safe life at home. He leaves for a boarding school to seek what the dying poet Francois Rabelais. Man, look, I don't know how to speak French. To see what the dying poet Francois called the Great Perhaps. Much awaits Wiles at Culver Creek, including Alaska Young, who will pull Miles into her labyrinth and catapult him into the Great Perhaps. Looking for Alaska brilliantly chronicles the indelible impact one life can have on another. A modern classic. What does that mean? A modern classic, this stunning debut marked #1 best-selling author John Green's arrival as a groundbreaking new voice in contemporary fiction. Cool. All right, the next one, An Abundance of Katherines. When it comes to relationships, Colin Singleton's type is girls named Catherine. And when it comes to girls named Catherine, Colin is always getting dumped, 19 times to be exact. Now, this washed up child prodigy is on a mission to prove the theorem of underlying Catherine predictability, which he hopes will predict the future of any relationship and avenge dumpies everywhere. Love, friendship, and a dead Austro-Hungarian archduke add up to surprising and heart-changing conclusions in this ingeniously layered comic novel by John Green. Comic novel. Comedy. Okay, sure. Paper Towns. Ooh. Sorry. It's different. Okay, Paper Towns. When Margot Roth Spiegelman, embarking on an ingeniously plotted campaign of revenge, beckons Quentin Jacobson in the middle of the night, he follows. Margot has always planned extravagantly, and until now, she's always planned solo. But when day breaks, Margot has vanished. Always an enigma, Margot has now become a mystery. But there are clues, and they're for Q. John Green, oh, okay. All right, and The Fault in Our Stars. Oh my God. Despite the tumor-shrinking medical miracle that has bought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal. Her final chapter inscribed upon diagnosis, but when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly appears at Cancer Kid Support Group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. Seen the movie? Actually, I cried. I think that was the first time a movie made me cry, like the first time watching it. So I'm excited. And then the last one, Turtles, All the Way Down. Asa never intended to pursue the mystery of fugitive billionaire Russell Pickett, but there's a $100,000 reward at stake, and her best and most fearless friend, Daisy, is eager to investigate. Okay, this sounds fun. So together they investigate the short distance and broad divides that separate them from Pickett's son, Davis. Asa is trying. She is trying to be a good daughter, a good friend, a good student, and maybe even a good detective, while also living within the ever-tightening spiral of her own thoughts. I like this one the best. I like the idea the best and the thing the best, but they're not all that great anyway. You know how I feel about synopses. A gem of modern literature. Do you guys agree? Damn near genius. Astounding. I think these are fudged a little. They always are, aren't they? Ooh. Okay. All right, let's get to the next package. Are you ready? Funny story, I actually never really liked Amazon, if you can believe it. Oh. Huh. But then, obviously, it got to me, but I try not to order when I can. I know, but I had to. Okay, The Murder on the Orient Express is the next book, which I actually already have a copy, but it was the movie cover, and this is like new. I bought this used. It said very good, but this is new. This is like new. And I didn't want it. I was actually going to return it, but it has like little movie, like behind the scene, like not really behind the scenes, but it has like in the middle, it has like these little things from the movie, and I haven't seen the movie yet. So I feel like if I see the movie, I'll definitely be interested in looking at this. So now I have 2, and I don't know how I feel about that. But let me read you the synopsis. Just after midnight, the famous Orient Express is stopped in its tracks by snowdrift. By morning, the millionaire Samuel Edward Ratchet lies dead in his compartment, stabbed a dozen times, his door locked from the inside. Oh, sorry. One of his fellow passengers must be the murderer. Isolated by the storm, this detective must find the killer among a dozen of the dead man's enemies before the murderer decides to strike again. ... So yeah, that's fun. You know, I really like the idea of this. I was looking into multiple of her Agatha's books, but what drew me to this book is that it's a murder on a train. And that is such a fun plot, and I've seen that before. My favorite show, Monk, I think that's why I had that moment before, because I remember there's another episode. There's one on a submarine, and then there's one on an airplane where a murder happens, like, on the airplane or on the submarine, and it's like, that's just really interesting. You have to find out who did it, and there's only so many people, but I love that idea of just like it being so easy, but probably obviously, you know, really difficult to like figure it out. But it's like everyone's there, everyone's on edge. And then also the movie Murder Mystery, Adam Sandler's movie, that was also really fun because it was on a cruise. So I was like, I know this plot, and I'm so excited to read it. Though it's originally published in 1934, and I've read the first chapter, and I'm like, goodness, the English, but it's gonna be a fun time. The next one. Ooh, there's 2 in here. All right. Oh, Nor, this is for you. The Love Hypothesis. This is longer than I thought. Contemporary romance. Cool. Okay, so here we have The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. That sounds like a pen name, and if it is a pen name, that's a good pen name. But if it's her real name, that's dope. Hazelwood. That's a fun name. When a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing... Who? Is that Anne? With an H at the end? Convincing Anne that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So, like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. I like the idea of this because I like movies like this where, well, not to say I like them like that, but it's very common in movies, like people fake dating and then obviously they fall for each other. It's kind of classic, so I'm interested to read it. Let's see, 400 pages. All right, cool. Thank you, Noor. All right, the next one is Murakami, Norwegian Wood. Toru, a serious young college student in Tokyo, is devoted to Naoko, a beautiful and introspective young woman, but their mutual passion is marked by the tragic death of their best friend years before. As Naoko retreats further into her own world, Toru finds himself drawn to a fiercely independent and sexually liberated young woman. A magnificent coming-of-age story steeped in nostalgia, Norwegian Wood blends the music, the mood, and the ethos that were the 60s with a young man's hopeless and heroic first love. Ooh. All right, cool. 300 pages. Nice. All right. And we have this one. Drum roll, please. Da-da-da. All right, we've got Along for the Ride, a novel by Mimi Grace. Ooh, I like this cover too. This road to love may have a few speed bumps, which, you know, ooh, it's not, oh, it's one of those books. It's not floppy. Okay, what drew me to this book was the fact that there's a map. And it seemed like an adventure, and boy, oh boy, do I like an adventure. Or at least I like imagining them anyway. When Jolene Baxter offered to help her sister and brother-in-law move halfway across the country, she didn't foresee the last-minute changes that would leave her making the journey with the one person she cannot stand. But let me guess, they fall in love. Jason Okana is similarly unenthused about driving with the one woman he publicly argued with 5 years ago at his best friend's wedding. Pigs would fly before they'd get along. But a lot of things can happen in 16 hours, especially when car problems, an unplanned pit stop, and chemistry are involved. Once the dust settles after their trip, can these two stubborn people successfully navigate the unexpected feelings that follow close behind? I'm sure they can. Or will they hit a roadblock before reaching happily ever after? Oh, well, I'm sure they'll hit a roadblock too. But just because you hit a roadblock doesn't mean you're unsuccessful. So the answer is yes to both questions. Awesome, cool. So if you have not taken a guess yet, these books are for my May TBR. So in May, I am going to read romances. And if you're like, wow, you could have chose so many other books. I know there are a lot of them, but as someone who doesn't necessarily go for romance, I wanted to choose some books that felt close to home. So yeah, these are the ones I got. And if you are one of the people who recommended me one of these books, I want to say thank you, or not one of these books, but books, romance books. I want to say thank you so much. I looked at all of your recommendations and they kind of led me here. They kind of, you know, they were good, but they made me realize that like maybe I shouldn't branch out too far. If any of you would like to read any of these 6 books with me in May, that would be really fun because we can then talk about them at the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and let me know what you want to read in May, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Like it if you liked it. Share it if you liked it. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good evening, have a good afternoon. Goodbye. These are gonna be damaged by the time I get this shot. Okay. Today I'm doing a... Okay, I'm done. Book haul.